Hello and welcome to We Got a podcast about Dragon Ball from A to Z, from Earth to Namek to Sadala. We cover it all. My name is Randy.
And I'm Doug.
And I'm wondering how much of this episode's going to make it to the cutting room floor. Ken.
Ooh, that's fun. Inside baseball, soon to be outside baseball to everybody else. We're the world's strongest under the heavens trio de dangers here every other week to talk your ear off about fights, goofs, and everything else in the Dragon Ball cosmos. Switching it up again. Ken, you got to tell me how you're doing.
So I'm doing good. I'm still playing the Great Ace Attorney. I'm on the final case of it as of just a few hours ago. But I've been watching a lot of TV. I watched all of Peacemaker and caught up on that. You know, that was because it's set in Superman and I love the Superman universe and I love Superman so much. Man, what a great show. It seems like
John
just
Cena's
a dumb... He is very good. It seems like a dumb meathead show. And then you watch it and you're like, oh no, this is like the deconstruction of a meathead almost.
Oh, really?
And his growth. Have you seen it? Have either of you seen it?
No, I've just seen Suicide Squad that he's in, but...
So then is there like a whole thing where, you know, he's on a train and sitting across from him is like Ray and he just like has this conversation about like his feelings and, you know, what's gone through his past and, you know.
So there's no train.
Oh.
But for the
Ray
rest
Ayanami
of it, there
is there.
could be Ray, not quite, but there are parallels in what you're looking for. It's very, very, very good. And then I have also been watching the Office sequel, The Paper.
Right, Paper. Is it called The Paper?
It's called The Paper, which I talked a little bit about during Mario Kart, so apologies to anyone who heard me say it there, but it's not really a spin-off. It's a sequel not to the Office characters, but it's a sequel to that documentary crew, and it's about them. You know how documentary crews will go back so many years later, be like, where are they now, and go back to them. That's the conceit of the show, is that they're going to go back to Dunder Mifflin, see where everyone was, but then they encounter Bob Vance of Vance Refrigeration, and he informs them that Dunder Mifflin got bought out and isn't there anymore, and got bought out by some conglomerate in Toledo. And so then the documentary crew goes there and then stumbles into this storyline that's going on with this newspaper that's there. And also Oscar is there now.
And also he's there.
But he doesn't...
Who knew?
It doesn't feel like... You know how like Joey felt after Friends? How it just... Everything felt wrong? This doesn't feel like that. Oscar's in it, but he is not the focus. He doesn't even want to be in it, which is great. Okay. And the other characters are all so good. And the show is like trying to say something about journalism. And it's just very much... a huge welcome surprise that it's so good.
Yeah.
Because you think it would be bad.
Yeah. And just the idea of like, where are they now also is just so weird that it has been so long where it's appropriate to do where are they now? Like, no, The Office ended like just 2 years ago. No, that thing's been over for how many years now? Has The Office been over?
12.
Oh my God.
It legitimizes itself right away. It's so smartly done.
Good. That's good to hear. What is it on? Paramount? Hulu?
It is on, well, for me, it's on Plex, but it's on Peacock. Randy, what have you been up to?
Oh, I'm still hammering away over at Yakuza Kiwami 2, and I think I'm closing in, because now I'm on chapter 14 of 16, and, all the stories are starting to weave together and come to a head, so we'll see how that goes. My, skill lists are almost all full, so that tells me we're coming in at the end here. So I'm excited for that, see how that all shakes out. And we'll see if I continue this whole thing of, so far, I play a Yakuza game every 2 years. So I'm never going to catch up. I will continue to be further behind. You know, so, yeah. Because that's just how it's going to be.
Great games, though.
It's weird that it's become a sequel, like an annual series, because it wasn't like that, and then all of a sudden when Yakuza 0 came off, the series just took off and they're like, oh, we need to make as many of these as fast as we can.
And they'll buy it. We will buy it.
Right. And as far as I know, they are keeping that up and the games are generally well received, so they're keeping it up.
Yeah, some are less good, Lost Judgment, but yikes, they're all pretty good.
Yeah, I'll get to those at some point. They're on my Steam wish list. I get told every couple of weeks, like, hey, buddy, those Judgment games are on sale.
Forget.
Like, yeah, I know, but I still got more to get through before I even get to that. So let's stop spending on Yakuza games that I will not get to for 10 years.
I think in this instance, it'll be good to give yourself some time before you play Yakuza 3 anyways, because going from Kiwami to an old engine,
Get severe whiplash.
Yes, exactly.
So I hear. I've never played the games, but I just know from hearing everyone talk about it that that's what it's going to be like.
So once I finish that, it's starting to become that fall season, that spooky season. So I think I'm going to play a Castlevania game after this, and we'll see how that goes. Portrait of Ruin, that originally came out on the DS. I never finished that one, so we'll see how that goes. I'm excited to jump in there. Otherwise, I don't know. Not a whole lot going on. Finally, almost done with Andor. I've got like 3 episodes left to go.
Cool.
And I'll have that.
What'd you think of that planet where they're just on a battling for each other's ship?
Oh, that was very cool. Very tense and fun. I like it all. So I don't know if you were trying to trap me into being like, that sucked or that was great.
No, I wanted your honest opinion. I mean, I'm happy you liked it. I didn't. I hated it.
Maybe
I love that for you, though.
Thanks, Doug. That always means a lot. Speaking of things from Doug, I got to ask how you're doing.
I started playing, this little game called Silk Song that came out recently?
Oh, yeah.
Because of the hype for that, I'm like, I've never played the game, so I'm like, don't I own Hollow Knight? Wasn't it free for PS Plus like years and years ago? So I went back, opened up my save file. I'm like, yeah, I played 2 hours of this and then never went back to it. Let me try it again, just because all the hype for the new game.
Yeah.
Played it. I'm currently loving the heck out of it. What the heck? No one told me Hollow Knight was a great game. I'm not typically one for 2D platformers or anything like that, but I mean, I like them occasionally, but this one really blew me away. It's so far, I'm not very far still. Like I've unlocked like 4 or 5 like maps, but man, really, really enjoying it. Like it's just a fun game to just hop on and play for a couple hours every day. But yeah, now I'm looking forward to Silk Song. I love that it's just like $20 too. Like it's just 3 developers, right? Or just 3 guys or people that are making this game, and they're not like gouging. They're just like the Costco hot dog guy. We're like, nah, we got plenty of money. Let's $20. That's it. I think even in other countries, they're selling it for like $6 in the Philippines. Like whatever equal it is to just a cheap game. That's good on them. That's great. But yeah, have you guys ever played Hollow Knight?
I own it, but I also have not jumped into it, and I'll get to it. But I'm so glad that means that you've beaten Claire Obscure, so you can move on to Hollow Knight.
No, I have not.
Okay, well, I got to start the hype cycle again, apparently.
I bounce around games so much. Like, every time I boot up Hollow Knight, I feel bad because Claire Obscure is right there. I'm like, oh, man, I'll get back to you. Everyone's telling me to play you and beat you. I'll get to you. Eventually, I'll finish it. But, yeah, no.
You'll get to the end of Act 1, and you won't be able to stop. You'll be like,
I'm hoping for that. Yeah, I gotta be so close to that too, so I can't wait. But besides that, let me show you the new figure I got. Oh wait, there is no figure I got because prices are freaking crazy now to import things. It's been hell, Randy. Let me tell you. Well, if you wanna,
we're gonna talk about the hellish nightmare that it is for getting figures from you two guys, people who know about this way more than I do. I mean, I've got a few things on order. There's something from Hobby Genki that I just got my email like, hey, you're paying for is all done. I'm like, cool. When do I get it?
Yeah.
So what is going on? Because I am kind of withdrawn from everything. I don't know. Last couple of years, I've been like, let's not pay attention to news or social media because I just can't take it. I get too anxious. So I don't know a lot, and I need you guys to fill me in and fill our audience in. They might not know, or they definitely know, and they just want to hear you guys moan about it.
Well, I mean, we could talk, before we get into that, let's talk about like what have we been buying,
Sure.
Up until this point. And for me, it's been an ever decreasing amount of figure arts because they're slowing down. They're not, it used to be like every month they'd announce a new figure, and then we'd go to that one and that one and that one, and there was always like a steady stream of new figures coming out. No, I can tell you based on like my receipts from Premium Bandai that it was like a new figure every month that was going to be coming, and that has like slowed down because it's re-releases, it's $310 giant fat Namekians.
Yeah.
It's these Kuririn figures that I would also say is in the range
That one's a
I'm
good
not willing to pay money
You
for.
take your.
He's a good figure. 85.
You bought the 1.0 Krillin. You never went back to buy the new one, and then now you're not buying this third one.
Yeah, because this one
Missing out on some good
smiles. The
Krillins.
one I have smiles. How about that? Do any of the other ones come with a smiling face? Aside from the kid?
I don't know about the third one.
Well, anyways, it's slowing down. In addition to that, there is a focus on Daima figures now, which I am like, no. I didn't pre-order the Kid Super Saiyan 4 Goku because I'm like, well, why would I want the adult one if they're going to do one.
And they never announced the adult one.
Yeah, well, they will. There's the Dragon Stars that's coming out soon. So,
Is there really? I don't
Yeah,
keep track with
eventually
Dragon
they
Stars,
will.
but that's okay.
for me, it's just like Dragon Ball is in a bad spot anyways. There's nothing new on the horizon. Yoku has not officially hired us to do the Evolution movies, so we don't know what's coming next.
Right.
So Dragon Ball is just in an iffy spot to begin with. And then it's like the figures that they're putting out were from this series that was like, again, I know some of you listening really like Daima. But from a series that's not as well regarded as previous series, that's the focus on merch. You know, Bandai Namco used to put out these like charts that would come out, not charts or whatever, but it would say like these Excel spreadsheets saying like which franchises were bringing in how much money and everything. And it was always like Dragon Ball, One Piece, and Gundam. Those are like your top ones. And
Yeah.
I'm not going to be surprised to see Dragon Ball start dropping from that if they're just...
Well,
Doug?
the funny thing is, too, is that with these Daima figures, they're actually surprising everyone with how good they actually are. Like, removed from the Daima anime itself, just like the figure articulation and like quality and everything, surprisingly really good. Like the adult Vegeta and the adult Goku ones, and the adult Piccolo. I love that adult Piccolo one.
Yeah.
Fantastic, just as a stand-in for a regular cast of heroes. Minus the skirt for Goku's shirt, but yeah.
Those three being kind of your evergreen, more aside from Goku, right? The more traditional just versions of those characters, I think those will do well. But
Yeah.
Kid Goku, I mean, have you seen like the Kid Vegeta on clearance at your Walmart?
Yeah, that one is the one that is horrible. Like that one's articulation is so bad. I bought 3 of them in advance thinking that, oh yeah, a good deal for these. And now they're always the $17.
So it's unfortunate. It's just like a whirlwind of stuff that has
and
kind
then
of
King
gotten in
Goma,
Dragon Ball's way.
No one's really getting that except for the hardcore people because it's like $75 for just a articulated figure that barely moves and then some cool ass Noibo effects. But yeah,
I'm glad to have Goma. I overpaid for him.
I still haven't got him yet. He's actually stuck in Hobby Genki for me, so I won't see him for a minute. And then Gloria was announced, pre-order and everything. I mean, a while back, but yeah, he's still up in the pre-order sphere.
At 95.
Oh yeah, was that his price? Oh my god!
Right.
They knew no one was going to buy him, so they were like, "We gotta make the money back some by people who do buy him." Oh
I
my God,
really do
95.
think they should have made him and Pansy a 2-pack.
Yeah, because at this point, no one's going to buy a Pansy if they ever do a pre-order for her. Like it's so far removed from the Daima series now that it's like, who's going to buy that?
Yeah. The further you get
Me.
out, the more of a problem it's going to be.
That's-
Well, will you? You know?
I mean, oh yeah, I mean, yeah.
He has
I mean,
to complete his collection. So
I've come so far. I'm completing my entire SH Figure Arts collection. I can't not at this point.
the question is, how many of them will he get? Probably fewer. Probably only like 4 or 5 rather than
Randy?
the usual 8 to 10.
You're right on the money, baby. maybe just one.
The announcement of stuff that's coming out, it's less and less. They're like re-releasing the legendary Super Saiyan Goku figure as like a more budget version with less features.
Right.
They're re-releasing Kula and Broly figures. There's
That's
just
40th
like
anniversary specials. Yeah.
Right. We've got this Ultra Instinct Super Limit Surpassed figure,
Yeah.
which is again the 2.0 Ultra Instinct body. So many of these other figures.
They do this though. This is what the New York exclusives are. It's just an old recycled figure with the shiny paint on top of it, and maybe like an aura effect.
So Randy, in case you don't know, Figure Arts, the community, big air quotes here. We talk about these figure bucks, the bodies in like 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, and then we might be moving over into 4.0 with this new the Cell Games Begin
the
Super
Goku.
Saiyan Goku figure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we talk about it in these different ways. So 2.0 is like, I don't know, Doug, what would you say, like 10 years ago now is when that body kind of
about
came
then.
out
Yeah.
in that
And
time
like
period?
the legs are a lot more premium. Here, I can pull them while you talk.
I think Android 16 may have actually been the first one to feature this new kind of like hip style that the rest of the ones known as 2.0 have. And so we've gotten so many new figures that are these 3.0 where the hips are better, the legs, the ankles, and the knees are better. And for this Ultra Instinct figure to be coming out at 2.0 just feels like, what are we doing? Like we can't go make a new mold or anything. We're returning to this form again. That's a 1.0 Vegeta that Doug's holding up.
You were saying this 16 was like the 2.0
Yeah, he's
introduction?
got different hips, I think.
Okay. He's still very early on. He's got the 1.0 style box.
Yeah,
at
very
least.
early on, yeah.
And I forget where the 3.0 started, but this is like, you'll see this kind of box art, and that's like what is synonymous now with SH Figure Arts.
Yeah, that's still a 2.0 Vegeta.
Okay. Yeah, still got to figure all that out. But yeah.
A 3.0 would be the superhero Gohan figure.
Oh, okay.
That would be a
But
good
what about,
3.0 show off.
Like these mini Daima figures that I have. Was that
Those are
2,
kind of so
3?
different.
Oh, fair.
Like 3.5, 3.6 kind of thing.
that Daima Kid Vegeta is more akin to like a 1.0 figure where they are like have diaper hips, basically.
Right.
Gotcha.
Like it's just like the legs are that. It's just like hanging off the torso.
Now, on the other side, the Ban Presto game I feel like has been killing it. They're constantly announcing new Matchmakers figures, new Ichiban Kuji, new Master Lease figures. There's Dabra, of all characters, is blowing up on Twitter.
I don't know why he's blowing up for you. It's got to be because of that Bobbity.
I got to the bottom of it. It's because of the Bobbity. And the Bobbity's coming out like 800 yen or something super cheap like that because he's going to be small. And so now everyone is like, oh, I need to go buy that Dabra figure. And so Dabra is selling out across Japan.
Dang, that's crazy. He was so readily available before this announcement, just like everywhere for like $30 or $40.
Right, because they want to pair him with the Bobbity on their shelves, which is, great.
Yeah. You need one with the other.
Doug has been collecting like everything.
I've been going hard for like since 2022. I've been like, not everything. Well, actually, everything you mentioned. Yeah, SH Figure Arts, Ichiban Kujis, and those Crane figures. Like all three of those. I've been collecting almost every single one that's come out since 2022, and backtracked some other ones too.
Yeah, and then I have started just becoming more selective with what I'm buying. Like I did not pre-order the Grand Elder because it's just not
so much money for that. Yeah,
there was a period of time where new Figure Arts got announced. I'm pre-ordering it no matter what. And then I don't remember, it was probably around the time of Metal Kula, where he was coming out and he was going to be die-cast metal, $120 for one figure, and I said no. And then it's like when you used to play Duolingo before they became AI slop, right? And it's like you get a good streak going, and then if you miss that streak, you're like, well, I'm just not going to touch this for a while.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's what happened with me with Figure Arts. So there's still the ones that I buy, obviously, but I'm willing to say I don't have a full Daima set because I'm not going to get Super Saiyan 4 Goku, and I'm going to wait for Glorio to go well into clearance territory before I even look at him.
Oh, he's a premium. I don't know. But yeah, I'd say, Ken, you were the one that got me the ball rolling for me for collecting, because ever since Tullis came out, you're like, dude, there's this coupon for free shipping. You guys have to take advantage of this. I'm like, let me take a peek what's going on in there. The window open. I'm like, oh my God, Sage Figure Arts. I remember.
So I can't speak to why Ban Presto is still continuing to kill it, but I would imagine might be just the format of them being like these crane figures. So they're like prize figures in Japan as well.
At arcade machines that you can just win for $6, maybe even less, I think.
And if I had to guess, I would think that maybe the Figure Arts sell more in the States as well. And so probably Tamashii Nations looking at the current world situation. And of course, by the world, I mean situation with America, the United States of America specifically, saying like, if it's going to be more difficult to get our figures over there, or at least have to raise the prices on everything because of what's happening, then maybe we should pull back and not have as many new figures coming out.
I wonder. I honestly don't think it has anything to do with the American. I don't think they look at that. just like how Toei Animation didn't look at like the popularity of Dragon Ball Z as a series in America until Battle of the Gods came out and they came to visit for a red carpet. Like, whoa, people like Dragon Ball? Weird.
Now, I know that, sometimes it does come down to different markets and what they might be having, even though it's not domestic, in Japan for us here. But I guess my question is, like that Goma, which is like, what, $85, and it's just a little thing that doesn't really move too much. Pre-orders for that went up in, January? This was before a certain person took office here. Now, granted, that his market ideas were part of his platform, so it shouldn't surprise anybody that, when he gets elected in November, January, he's, that's still going to be on the table. But, prices were already going up for that there. So is there anything else that's been going on that causes those prices to rise?
No, it's just the fact that Goma is such a obscure character that they know is not going to sell as much as a Goku would, so they have to raise the price to like make up for the difference. That's I think that's it. I don't think they really look into politics too much like that, like how it's going to affect the market and everything like that. Like, on a bigger scale, I don't think it's going to be like that.
Well, perhaps in the future we can have someone come up on here who I don't know. He may not be able to say a whole lot of stuff, but
right. But we'll see.
Maybe
Yeah,
we'll have to pre-screen some questions, I'm sure. But a lot of the stuff that's plaguing Doug and I, and Randy, you too, with your Hobby Genki order, is that there are these tariffs, reciprocal tariffs that have been put into place that are gumming up the works, man. Specifically with what USPS and DHL.
Well, no, with everyone. What do you mean?
Well, I mean, okay. So specifically what's going on is, yes, there are reciprocal tariffs, and currently we have a 15% tariff on goods coming in from Japan.
Right.
But if you order from USPS for like the next 6 months, they're ignoring that 15% and saying like, well, because you are 16% or lower, flat rate $80.
$80 minimum. Anywhere between $80 and $200, you're paying just in fees to get that package shipped to you. But that's if you do, like you said, USPS, like a C-mail or EMS is what the wording is that they use over there too.
So here's the great thing about this whole situation is that nobody knows what's going on. And
yeah, cool.
We're going to try to give you as much information as we can on this situation, but do keep in mind, we are not trade experts. We are not anything in any sort of position to be telling you 100% what's going on. We're just trying to get as best of an understanding on this as we can. And keep in mind, if we are having this much trouble trying to figure this out, imagine running a mom and pop import store and what this is for them. Okay?
Yeah.
So this goes beyond Dragon Ball. We're going to talk a lot in terms of Dragon Ball here, of course, but it's a nightmare. So like one of the things here that I don't even know if I can verify, because where would I go to do this other than like just scroll through Doug got me on this idea to go through the DHL subreddit, go through the USPS subreddit, the UPS subreddit, FedEx subreddit, and just try to look at as many anecdotal experiences as I can and try to glean an understanding of what is actually going on from that.
Because people on there are like posting like their emails that they're getting from the company. Like, this is how much you owe before we can ship this to you, deliver this to you.
Yeah. And so what my understanding is that USPS specifically, they're the ones doing this $80, what is it, $120, $160 or something like that?
80 to 200, but I haven't seen anyone, have you, Ken? I haven't seen anyone get hit by that. Me, I've been lucky too. I got stuff that came in after those dates. Like I got 3 packages recently. Okay, 3 packages. One cleared customs the day before the 29th of August, which is when this all went into effect. 2 of them cleared after. But so far, I haven't gotten a bill in the mail. They delivered it to me, no questions or anything like that. So that makes me believe that, hey, maybe some people will just get lucky and USPS will just like look at it and like, yeah, cleared without like charging a fee to it. So there's still some hope for that, but still with this whole thing, it's too much of a risk to take that. Yeah,
so much of it depends on just you rolling the dice that you're going to get the one guy at the USPS who doesn't care and just flips
I'm not
it
rolling $80.
I'll let you go.
I'm not,
right.
It's not worth. That's a difference of like if I'm going to buy a figure or not.
So to walk this back, tariffs are not a symptom. Like the idea of tariffs didn't originate with this administration.
Right.
However, the idea of removing the de minimis exception does. And for those of you, I can't imagine clicking on this podcast not knowing what de minimis is by this point, but in case you don't, and maybe you came here being like, these are the guys I want to explain all of this to me, in which case, you'll go, okay. But it was that previously you could import anything with a value of $800 or less and avoid tariff fees, which is how Doug was able to make out like a bandit stealing from Japan, basically.
Basically, yeah. That's the reason why I got so many. The reason I have so many figures is because I was able to get so many things cheap from Japan. Those Crane prize figures that they sell in America for $35 a pop, or like $25 to $35. I'm able to get each one of those for $10 each total, including shipping, because I use USPS, and it still take 2 months to get to me. But using USPS, the shipping for a huge box would cost me $40 total. So $40 divided by like the 15 Crane prize figures I sent out are like $2 or $3 a pop. So really, I was $11 each, and that's why I got so many.
But now what's happened is that a lot of those cheaper shipping options, these stores will not ship it that way to the U.S. anymore.
At this moment, yeah, they've just halted. They've just halted shipping to America because they knew all this BS is happening. They're like, we're going to hold this for now. We're going to hold this, or you can choose to have it shipped by DHL or FedEx or UPS.
Because again, nobody knows what's going on.
Right.
And so this is affecting so many things at so many different levels. Okay. So let's say, okay, I've got this Guardian amiibo. Fantastic. I think it cost me like $20 back in that day. It'd probably run you like, I don't know, 500 or something these days on eBay. Who knows? I'm not checking that.
Yeah.
Let's say I imported this from Japan and it somehow came USPS. Okay. They're going to, in worst case scenario, tack on an $80 fee in addition to what I paid to order this from Japan. So this suddenly becomes a terrible deal, even though the US dollar is so much stronger than the yen.
You could have paid $1 for that amiibo and it still would be $80. So $81 total is what you're paying for that amiibo.
Okay. So now let's say I order a package from Japan that comes with this Urbosa amiibo and this Guardian amiibo. Okay. Some interpretations of the new executive order that have been put in place will be that together, these will be the $80 attached to the one package coming in. Other interpretations are it's going to be $80 per item.
Now, why is it different?
I don't think that's true. No, no one knows is what Ken is saying.
Exactly.
I'm leaning more towards that. That was my initial thought too, Ken, was that it would be each single item in there. But after reading so many things, I don't think that's the wordage, the verbiage. I went on whitehouse.gov, looked at the whole like description of the bill and everything, and on like section B, letter C, subcategory A or whatever, it was like each item parentheses package. So like, I think it just means, let's just assume package, because item, like my first TikTok/short thing that I posted was me being scared that, hey, I got this thing from Japan that had like 30 of these like acrylic stands and like tiny little figures. I bought that all before I knew this was going to happen. I was scared that I was going to get charged $80 per thing, and my box would cost me $3,000 in fees. That wasn't clickbait or anything like that, or like rage bait. That was legit fear that I had that it was going to happen, and like really was going to be charged that much money for these things. But the more and more I'm looking at it, I'm thinking that's not the case. It's just going to be per package, $80, which is still horrible. But yeah.
Problem is the verbiage of the whole thing saying item versus something like, package or, entire shipment or something like that. That can be confusing.
Yeah.
Now, supposedly a lot of this is because the USPS doesn't have a system set up for tariffs.
Yeah.
And so because of that, this is where those flat type of fees start coming into play, because they just don't have something to calculate tariffs on different packages coming in.
Which so that's why 80 is crazy. Flat 40 maybe would be better, but no, it's flat 80.
Right. And so that's why these are in place, which is insane. Okay. So now let's say you're ordering something and you ship it FedEx or UPS from Japan. Okay. So you're going to avoid those $80 to $200 fees, but it's going to potentially get much worse, because what UPS will do.
can I start real quick? Just let alone is that the difference between the cost for shipping using USPS versus FedEx and DHL is almost at least double the cost. Like I said, the $40 I would pay for USPS to get a big box shipped from Japan would take 2 months. But instead, you could have it shipped FedEx, DHL, or UPS in like 2 to 4 weeks, like really quickly. But that's going to run you like at least $80 going up to like $150. Like that's what the crazy prices go into. But yeah, sorry, Ken, then from there.
So this is where this is going to start getting into anecdotal knowledge from Reddit. So you take this with as many grains of salt as you want. I believe it, but we'll just take it from there. So what UPS will do is a package will come in. So you're already paying double for shipping, like Doug's saying. Package will come in and UPS will go, nom nom, thank you. We will go ahead and cover the tariff fees and pay this so that we can just get your package in and send it to you. And then you'll get hit, and different reports of you might get your package. They might hold your package and ask you for money. But what will show up on a bill for you will be 2 things. It'll be the tariff fee, which you are still expected to pay, and then it will be the brokerage fee, which God knows that is UPS's fee for them having disbursed the money to cover the tariff for you. And that could be fee. Hundreds of dollars.
Well, it's starting at like $9, but it's no. I've never seen that crazy. Ken, have you?
I did.
You have? Okay, I've seen the actual tariff fee price be crazy, but the brokerage fee is like from $9 to $30. I guess I think they're working on a percentage with that as well. So that's the crazy part.
And so you're having to look at how many packages come into the U.S. on a regular basis. So let's say I'm talking about the hundreds of dollars in brokerage's fee. Maybe that's a mistake, okay? The current administration tacking on all these new responsibilities of everyone needing to be a trade expert does not magically mean that UPS suddenly has a full staff of trade experts who can handle all of this kind of stuff. No, it's your average Joes who are already working there, and mistakes are going to be made.
Yeah. At the company I work at, we deal with USPS, FedEx, and UPS on a daily basis. Enough where like I'm good friends like with them. Like I talk to them and like I brought this whole tariff situation up with each and every single one of them. I know more about it than they do. Like they have no idea. I'm like schooling them on like what de minimis is and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, what is going to happen? Are you guys going to, the basic question I'm asking is, am I going to get billed later for this? Or are you going to hold it until I pay it kind of thing? And so far they're all like, we don't know kind of thing. But UPS specifically has been telling me that a lot of people have been rejecting their packages, as in like, UPS comes, hey, Doug, here is your package. And Doug, I'm like, no, thanks. I don't want to pay that tariff fee. So take it back. and UPS is having to take that package, send it back to like, say Hobby Genki or whatever. And then, it's all kinds of messed up, but they've specifically have dealt with a lot of returns.
But if it's not really a return, it's a return to sender, but you are not necessarily getting reimbursed for whatever you send back.
Yeah, you're not. Like I would be eating the cost of whatever I paid to get the item and the shipping, the initial shipping.
It's all bad all around. And it's a huge mess. So what's happening because of this? Well, 80% drop in, what is it? Okay, so the United Postal Union said that information exchange between postal operators through its electronic network showed traffic from its 192 member countries, nearly all the world's countries, had fallen 81% on August 29th, which was the first day that all of this tariff stuff went into effect.
80%. I mean, when a lot of countries are just halting shipments to you, of course.
This stuff incoming from other countries being handled through the USPS is now 20% of what it was prior to these tariffs going into place.
Dang. And I know what you're thinking, Randy. Well, I guess they just want us to buy American stuff, right? Yeah. Well, that's the idea, right?
But for something like this, these figures, there isn't an American producer of them. So it's
for like, a lot of things, you're right. Only thing that I can think of are like clothing and electronics. We might be able to kind of manufacture that here in the States and take over. But even then, everything else, warehouses don't spring up overnight. It's going to take years to build warehouses or factories to make these things. And no one's making an anime figure warehouse factory anywhere in America, like not on a grand scale that can sustain all these figures. can fill my room up,
Well, it looks like you have that warehouse. It's behind you. But,
Yeah.
you've already started the business. Doug, you're a president now. You're a CEO of
This-
Doug's Figure Corp.
Big box of SH figure parts I have on my left right here is all just full of my extras. And I've been able to buy extras because there were such good prices by importing in Japan.
Don't talk about your extras, Doug. You don't want people to know about your extras. You know what happens when you talk about your extras.
And, you extra I can have? No, they're for me. I have purposes for them. They're just not my, yeah, okay.
So let's say you're more like me and you primarily purchase from Amazon, Big Bad Toy Store, Premium Bandai.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to have to really worry about a whole lot of that. Yeah, your prices are going to go up. They're going to go up 15% or whatever, however much more that Bandai decides, they want to cover, how much Ioku needs to pad out his, new limo he's got, whatever, to make up for that 15%.
On Big Bad Toy Store, they're getting kind of crazy with that already. Like, I don't know if you've seen the 40th anniversary Goku, like sold in Japan for like $80 and they're selling it for $180 on Big Bad Toy Store.
Right.
No one should be paying that price.
What's going on there is because they are importing that figure from Japan.
Yeah.
So like the Premium Bandai stuff, that is Tamashii Nations bringing over pallets of this stuff from Japan, and then really it's just a 15% on that. Like maybe
that cost.
Something else, yeah. And then that 15% well that'll get passed on to us eventually.
Yeah.
But that's the reason why, like, if you're ordering a Goku figure off of Amazon and it's straight from Amazon.com, ships and sold by Amazon.com, you're not going to be paying $80 to $100 extra for that figure. It'll just be like all the figures that used to be $35 are now $38, that kind of thing.
I feel like a lot of people aren't really aware of how Amazon works too. Like a majority do, but I get a lot of comments are like, what about Amazon? It's like, you have to look and see if it's shipped and sold by Amazon. You'll see on the right side under the checkout button, there's a little section that says shipped and sold, and it'll say by who. If it's by Amazon, both, then yeah, you're good. But they can always have some random shop name, and that's when you get into just a random Joe Schmo store selling you that kind of stuff. And who knows where they're located or what they're charging you, or if they're sending you a fake too. So, but if it's sold and shipped by Amazon, you're good. I mean, Amazon America.
So if it's the stuff that Bandai themselves have brought over from Japan and then are distributing it in the States, you're fine.
It's already here. It's in America. You're getting it from their American warehouse.
Yeah. It's 15% more expensive or whatever, but of course the value of the dollar and everything and living wages and all that kind of stuff. So none of it equates out. It's all bad no matter what. But
yeah.
We just want to say that, like, this $80 to a $200 thing is terrible. Mostly affects people who like Duck.
Which I'm going to stop collecting now. Like, I'm not, it's kind of felt nice not buying anything in the past few weeks, but at the same time, I'm kind of missing on some figures. Like, I used to buy so many because I could, but now I can't. Yeah, it sucks.
So there was a court ruling just recently, in which it was a 7-4 ruling showed that U.S. law bestows significant authority on the president to undertake a number of actions in response to a declared national emergency, but none of these actions explicitly include the power to impose tariffs, duties, or the like, or the power to tax. And that was a 7-4 ruling. But then they said, you know what, but we'll just leave these tariffs in place through
I have no idea.
October.
If they're like, it's illegal, but you're good. We'll keep it till October, even though it's illegal. What?
So, of course, this was then challenged by the current administration to go up to the Supreme Court. And as of we checked right before we were recorded, 3 hours before we were recorded, the Supreme Court decided they will take this up. They're going to be fast tracking it because the current administration is worried about having to refund everyone who has to pay all this nonsense. And it's like, well,
yeah.
You shouldn't be doing it in the first place. So they're worried about refunds, and that's why they're like, well, you don't want to wait until how long this would normally take. Let's go ahead and do this in November, in case they hopefully lose, that they won't have to refund as many people as they otherwise would, like if this happened in June or something next year.
If you look on the subreddits, there's so many horror stories. I'm sure it's not the norm, but there are a lot of horror stories of people posting their fees. They're getting hit by thousands of dollars in fees from UPS and DHL already for these things. And some of them are errors. Some of them are just no, you bought this much stuff and that's just what the percentage of the cost is. It's just crazy. And the rest of the world is probably hearing us moan and groan about it. And they're we've been paying fees, tariff fees for forever now. it's like, yeah, but us in America, we never had to. It seems like a very unnecessary fee at this point. And yeah,
it is. Canada is something like a $20 de minimis.
Yeah. So like no matter what, almost anything, no matter what, yeah, they've always been hit with fees. It's crazy.
Yeah. So Canadians, you okay with that? Shouldn't be.
That's the thing is their government has probably made them be like, that's the norm for them now. It's like, but it shouldn't be. Like, what the heck?
Yeah. And we talk a lot about purchasing figures, and we are very blessed that we do have this like direct connection coming in. We have, before it was Tamashii Nations taking care of this themselves, it was Bluefin distributors who were bringing over figures. We have had distributors. Other countries don't.
Yeah.
I don't think Germany has anyone like in Germany distributing these figures. They have to import from there. Canada, same type of thing. Whenever there's like a new Premium Bandai figure, they can't purchase from Premium Bandai. They have to go and pay the big bad toy store tax and purchase from them. So it's just bad all around. So yeah, we have not had to deal with this de minimis absence before. And guess what, Canada? You shouldn't have ever had to.
If it was a typical, 5 to 10% fees that we get hit with our state taxes here, like I'd be like, okay, that's fair because we weren't paying taxes for the items that we import anyway.
Oh, you were.
Might as well do that.
You were paying Japanese tax.
Yeah, I guess, but it was built into the price, so we really don't see. But yeah.
Well, I mean, a tax is a tax, whether you see it or not.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's just incorporated in the price, so I don't think about it. But I mean, our country wasn't getting anything, and I understand they're wanting to stick their hand in the honey pot, whatever that phrase is. But like, they wanted some money too.
This is all about control, Doug. It's the same thing.
It is.
Like, it's the same thing with them trying to do these age restrictions for like porn sites or Twitter or Blue Sky or whatever is going on, like in the UK. It's all about control and suppressing you and just pulling back your freedoms. Now, the current administration has acknowledged that, yes, if the Supreme Court does rule against these tariffs, I'm like, dude, it is stacked against us, honestly. But if they rule against the tariffs, yeah, they're going to have to pay, they're going to have to refund like all of this stuff. Because if it was illegal, it means it was illegal the whole time and wasn't in place.
I just have like no hope with all this stuff though.
Yeah. So it's bad. And it's like we said, nobody knows what's going on. And that means us, Doug's coworkers who are surprised at how much he knows. And Doug works at a company that deals with shipping companies all the time. You now have to be a trade expert. And so you think about,
I feel bad for the people that are just getting stuff and then getting a bill without knowing anything about what's going on with the whole tariff situation. Like, what is this bill for $40 for? People think it's a scam, like, because they're not privy to it. They don't know what's going on. And
this is all going to start to trickle down to like the next time you go to an anime convention. What do you think that merch alley is going to look like?
It's going to be even crazier.
Do you think that those already inflated prices are going to be worse, or do you think that they're just not going to have as much product?
Mix of both, probably. I mean, you're going to have less choices. You're going to be paying higher prices, and that's kind of how it's going to shake out.
Even if the Supreme Court like rules against it, like the damage is already done. Like companies might take already advantage of this and raise their prices due to it. And then when tariffs go away, they're just going to keep their prices probably up there to get more revenue because, we've gotten used to that prices and everything too. So it's all just messed up.
Yeah. So what can you do about this?
Yeah.
Well, here in America, I mean, the midterms are in a couple, in 14 months?
I wonder how many people like that are anime figure collectors are affected by this and are just like, oh, this is not what I wanted. Like, realistically, because I bring this up to my family, my sister and mother, and they're just like, they're never affected by it because they don't import, obviously, so they don't really know. So it's just like, oh yeah, of course they would have no idea that this is affecting. They don't know why I'm so upset about this or whatnot. But I felt like I found a secret. I'm like, oh, I can get good deals from this stuff from Japan. Like, it felt like I just got started going. Like I said, 2022, and now it's just being like, yank. Nope, you had it too good, Doug. You were stopping you. Which yes, I did have it really good. This stuff I am so grateful for having and being able to get, but it's being cut off and it sucks.
And elephant in the room, I guess, to maybe someone listening to this is, this is like, for us three, this is a small problem. This
Yes.
is like
Yeah.
nothing in the world, right? It's a
Yeah.
big problem for mom and pop import shops, like a lot of those Indian stores, any kind of like Japanese or Chinese store, like or the anime stores that might be near you, brick and mortar ones if they still exist in your area. Those are in some real serious life-changing trouble. For us, this is nothing.
We'll be fine.
There are so many atrocities going on in the United States of America right now. Human rights issues, everything. I mean, that covers a whole lot of what's going on here.
Yeah.
This is a Dragon Ball podcast, and if we're talking about Dragon Ball AF, which, surprise, we're talking about Young Gigi's Dragon Ball AF next episode,
Are we?
there's not really a place to bring down the whole podcast talking about this, right? This is
Right.
something that we talk about on, you can catch us talking, kind of touching on it a little bit when we play Mario Kart at grabyournearest.com every Saturday night. That's not really the place for it here. Obviously, everyone has their own opinions, and kind of like shifting into a discussion about all of this in Dragon Ball doesn't really make sense. Here, it makes sense. So this is what we're talking about here within the scope of Dragon Ball, of us as collectors, how this affects the stuff that we talk about. When Randy's like, Doug, what are you doing? And Doug starts off every time, check out this new ancient Chi-Chi EX figure I bought. That's what Doug's passion is. And so it makes sense to talk about when Doug's passion is forever affected,
Yeah.
to talk about it here. And so I just want people to understand that, like, we're not ignoring everything else that's going on
Yeah.
right now. It just it's not appropriate to talk about it here.
Yeah. Basically.
Can I ask a question that is more pertinent expressly to me so
Yeah.
that I can try and understand
please.
something? All right. So previously I brought up I have a Hobby Genki order open. I did a pay in for sort of thing. And I'm taking a look at their website to try and understand all this whole thing, because they've got a big thing like on their front page says to valued U.S. customers due to recent changes. Let's see here. It is expected to be like this whole de minimis thing, expected to be removed August 28th. Following this, Hobby Genki is temporarily suspending FedEx shipments to the United States. In addition, from August 27th, Japan Post has suspended acceptance of all of these parcels. Will hold all shipments until the situation changes, except if an upgrade to an available option is asked. You can check the announcement from the Japan Post here. All orders placed with the FedEx option before August 21st will be automatically switched to DHL or UPS when possible. So, specifically for me, I have an order in for Hobby Genki. I put it in June 4th, and I did pay in for, and the shipping is postal parcel surface mail. And then the pay in for thing happened.
The pay in for doesn't matter. None of that matters.
Okay, it just matters for when the order was placed.
No, not even that. It only matters what shipping you chose. And you said you chose Japan Post C-mail, surface mail.
Gotcha.
Which is it's going to end up getting sent to you via USPS. So you're looking at that $80 base flat fee. But I would email them. Anyone who has an order with Hobby Genki, a lot of these sites, a lot of them, Hobby Genki, Amiyami, Hobby Link Japan, anything that when you check out, it gives you the option of what shipping you want to choose from. They are all holding shipments until this is all kind of cleared up. Maybe like in October or something like that. I think they gave a date, maybe not, just like until things get better. But unless you chose like to have it sent FedEx or DHL or UPS, they're going to send that out as soon as they can to get that out of their warehouse. So Randy, because you chose, you said, okay, you should email, you're fine, but I would instead email them, say, hey, can you instead hold this in my private warehouse? A lot of these shops have their own private warehouse that they'll hold your orders in. That way you can hold on to the package there at their warehouse until you decide you want it sent out. So like in December, when like things seem to really be cleared, hopefully, like, okay, send it out now. Like, and if you email them, I'm sure they'll accommodate that because they're just sitting on all these boxes anyway. If anyone out there has stuff sent out, had selected FedEx or DHL or UPS specifically to have your stuff sent out, I would immediately, if you want to avoid all these tariffs, like I said, email them and say, hey, switch it into my private warehouse for now, and then see if they'll accommodate.
Okay, yeah, I'll have to take a look at that because I do see it says now scheduled availability date is year 0, month 0, day 0. So I don't know what that is. They're like, we're just holding it forever until things.
I would just email them to say, hey, put it in my private warehouse. That way you can decide, because otherwise they might ship it in a week from now, and then you're going to get hit with that $80 flat fee.
Gotcha. Which would not be great because it's like
No.
2 figures that ended up being like $112 with the everything else piled up in there.
Everyone try and look for what the release date was of your stuff coming out. So my advice is to actually not buy anything that's in stock now, unless you can have it sent to a private warehouse that these hobby Genkis offer, and Bai does too. But if you want to pre-order stuff, I think still go ahead and pre-order stuff, but just also have it sent to your private warehouse. Now, this is where I hope a lot of y'all can trust me. I have an affiliate link with Bai. I'm saying right now, do not go with Bai right now until all this stuff is cleared out. Like it's too unpredictable. I mean, yes, they're even holding packages for you too, like indefinitely, but it's just like, I'm more scared of stuff that's in stock. Because if in stock, someone has to hold it in their warehouse for you. And just like the longer they have to do that, the worse it is. So I just wouldn't go that route.
They will not hold things indefinitely if this goes south.
Right. Well, surprisingly, like places like Hobby Genki never had a time limit on how long they can hold packages for. Bai is the one that does. Bai usually is like a 30-day hold for free. After that, they'll charge you like a fee, like $1 daily kind of thing. But as of right now, they are waiving that fee and they're just like, they're not ticking down your 30-day clock. They're just, everything right now is free to be held by them until a month or so from now. But eventually that clock will start ticking again.
Yeah.
And you want to be in control of that. So don't buy anything from there if you can for now.
Right. Because if they're holding it, like that obviously has to go into a physical space, and physical space is finite. So if they're holding stuff for the US, for everybody, for all of their orders, like those shelves are going to fill up and they don't got nowhere to go.
So right now, like if you're in America and I would take a look at American shops like Big Bad Toy Store and Amazon. If that price seems fair to you for that figure that you want, by all means, buy it from there for now, because you're not going to get a surprise fee from there if they ship from their U.S. warehouse. Tokyo Otaku Mode is another toy shop I use for Ichimon Kujis, like these big figures, because they, after $150 of like items you buy, you get free shipping, which I know is $150 is still a lot, but if these Ichimon Kujis are like $70 a pop, you buy 2 of them, you're almost there, kind of thing. But even with Tokyo Taco Mode, make sure the figure you're buying, it'll say what warehouse it's being shipped from. Some will say the U.S. warehouse, and some will say the Japan warehouse. It'll say clearly on there which it is. And obviously, Japan warehouse, don't do that because that's going to be probably a tariff fee on top of that. U.S. warehouse, you're in the clear. It's tough times, man. I don't even know what I'm really going to do. Like that's the thing is like that new Spider-Man SH Figure Arts that's from MVC3 or MVC2 came out for pre-order. I'm like, I want that so bad, and I pre-ordered it from one site. I forget which one, but because I think it sold out within minutes everywhere else. But I gotta have it.
Yeah. And that's a problem too, because stuff like that isn't necessarily going to get domestic releases. Like the Star Wars figure arts, Hasbro owns the rights to Star Wars figures in the US. Therefore, the Tamashii Nation's Star Wars figures that come out in Japan do not get official releases here. So you have to import them. Yeah.
I didn't know that. Oh, okay. Dang.
So it affects, obviously it affects a lot more than just Dragon Ball fandom. It's a lot.
Right.
We're really getting away scot-free, all things considered, with Mary Louise Kelly.
Oh, thank you. Sorry, Doug, that was an NPR reference.
Okay, that's what
because All Things Considered is a segment on NPR.
There is one workaround, but obviously no figure store will do this for you. It's if the person from Japan is sending it to you, they can send it to you via gift. If it's under $100 and marked as a gift, you won't get hit with the fees. But anything above $100, you will get hit. And like I said, good luck getting. You're not going to get the stores to do that. It's like if you know someone in Japan that can probably hook you up. If you want it desperately enough, I don't know. I don't think I've seen anyone try it, but that's what the rules that have been given to us says. So every package to the U.S. is hit with tariffs unless it's less than $100 and a gift.
We're not going to condone mail fraud, though. So just to be very clear.
No, so that's what I'm saying. Like if you know someone in Japan, they can then gift it to you, kind of thing.
Right.
I saw someone on Reddit like asking, "Can I ask Bai to like change it to the value?" I'm like, "That's illegal. So no.
Yeah. Even just posting that question on Reddit is
They're like,
illegal.
how can I get around this? Can I ask them to lower the value? No. You're going to jail.
No.
Straight to jail.
Straight to jail.
And this is all in the name of trying to keep drugs out of coming to the U.S.
Keeping drugs out of the country.
Well, vinyl can be a drug to some people. I know that it definitely, is a mood-altering substance for Doug. He gets in a box full of those
that dopamine
little
rush.
plastic figures. Oh, yeah. That's all it is. It doesn't contain it, but it's giving you the rush. Look at that. That's a happy boy. Okay. All right. Well,
Audio
now
listeners.
he's snorting it.
Yeah.
I'm just very lucky, too, that I've completed my SH figure collection, for the most part. Completed the collection within these past few years, because, man, trying to collect them now would have been hell.
I think that should probably just about wrap up where we're at now. Always
So
feel
mad,
free to.
man.
I know, but always feel free to reach out to us. Doug, honestly, Doug is blowing me away here. I mean, I knew he was going to run with this episode and really just be the expert on all of this, but he is always, and I see him in our comments on YouTube. He's in there talking to people about stuff that you need to do. So just reach out if you have questions.
Yeah.
Again, we
There's a lot of
are.
confusing times.
We are as well versed as we can be, but we are not paid experts in this field. So just keep that in mind.
Right. And I also want to say, Doug, thank you so much for being a wealth of information for us, for this show, and for our listeners, the people that are interacting with you online and stuff like that.
Turns out it's easy when it happens to me specifically. Yeah.
Well, sorry you had to learn about all of this. And
I've been very lucky
stress
and
that it's
I haven't been hit with any fees, luckily. Like everything that came in to me, I must have just been lucky. And the guy working USPS just like, oh, Doug, I know that guy. Let him have his stupid toys.
That's very fair. All right. Well, again, if you guys got questions, feel free to reach out. We've got places that you can get to us. I mean, you can email us at wegotapod@gmail.com, which we tell you at the end of every episode. Of course, Doug is Drabaz Doug everywhere. So yell at him.
You can comment
like
on this
that.
video too if you have questions too. I'm sure this will be the best place to at least get my take on it. Again, check other sources too. Don't just go like our word is gospel. Like this is just our experiences that we've dealt with personally.
And this video could very well be out of date before it even comes out.
That's true.
Yeah.
Especially if you're listening to this episode 10 years from now, things are entirely different. I don't know what problems you're worrying about today, but this is what we were dealing with.
Have the water wars started yet?
I got mine, but don't take it from me.
Don't take mine.
I want to keep it. Okay. Well, cool. Well, we're going to take a little break here and we're going to be back with some more stuff and hear what you guys had to say about the nightmare in which we all live and swim. So sit back and we'll be right back with you in just a sec. Alrighty, welcome back here to some more We Got a Podcast, and it's that time, like every episode, where we get to hear what you guys had to say. Ken out here, man in the blue sky, putting out the call, says, how's life for a collector these days? Have you been hit by the orange man's tariffs yet? We want to know how collecting Dragon Ball stuff is going for you these days. So, we've got this first one here from Lance, Myster Fusion. Ken, why don't you take this?
Yeah, Mr. Fusion says, I'm afraid I don't have any importing stories, but I did want to say, as a longtime NPR listener, how much I enjoy your logo variant. So for the call to action, this one, I did, I do all these jokey, I guess if you don't look at the blue sky, you don't see them, but I have so many parody logos of We Got a Podcast, and this one was NPR, which felt appropriate.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, because we're covering,
And that's
that
what Doug
type
was
of
like,
stuff.
who is NPR? Which show is he on?
Right. I don't have that streaming service. So, all right. We have this one here from Nero Nova who says, alas, not so good. Mostly because of limited space. Can't have a figure shelf for my house if I can't afford a house, though at least I got stuff boxed up for when the time comes. Eventually. So, yeah, I mean,
Did I say that answer in? That sounds like me.
This is you from the past before you got your current place, although now
I'm still out of space, man.
Right. So yeah, figure costs are out of this world, but hey, you know what? House prices have also been out of this world forever. So
yeah,
it's a bummer.
Mike Vegito EX writes in, it says, due to the incredible dollar to yen rate, I've been able to dramatically bolster the Kanzenshu archives the last few years. I've also been keeping up with the new Saikyo Jump and V-Jump purchases for well over a decade. Shipping's always wild compared to the item prices, but it's been worth it in the long run. So far, I've only had one Saikyo Jump come in since the shit hit the fan. It's shipped DHL from Amazon JP. I haven't been hit with anything extra yet. I have no way of knowing if/when I will. Will I get a random $100 bill on a $5 magazine? What about when V-Jump ships next week via the same method? It's not like any of this can be, quote, made in America, and it's not like I'm going to suddenly spend all this money now on some other random, totally different, quote, American goods instead. If anything, this is all just lost revenue now for the US/domestic side of the shipping companies.
Leave it to Mike to articulate everything I wanted to say this entire episode into like a few good sentences. Like that's exactly it. Yeah,
we're gonna actually scrap this episode and we're just gonna do a dramatic reading of those 3 messages from Mike, and that's just gonna be the episode.
I mean, that's why I make the shorts I do, because I can better like articulate myself and edit around the flubs that I do to then make a concise short. Instead of if you like my ramblings, that's what you're here for, then by all means, listen to my ramblings, but for the more concise stuff, listen to my shorts.
Yeah, there you go. This is for more. This is a only slightly filtered Doug. So right. That's what you get to enjoy. Parker Rico, on my own end, I haven't really been collecting a lot as of late, not only because of prices, but also the lack of space I have in my room. Yeah, man. You know what is great about Steam games? They don't take up any space on my shelves. But you know what? Figures, they do. I mean, like, I have most of this filled up, and now I'm actually trying to think, like, what can I do to consolidate some other items on my shelf back here to make room for more figures? Because I do want some more. I have a couple coming, and they need to be displayed somewhere that people are going to see them, and what better place than here in the camera view. So
perfect.
Nerdy writes in, I keep getting these long ones. Nerdy writes in, it says, my collecting life has slowed down quite a lot, old man voice. When I was a wee young lad, finding figures was quite the challenge, so I basically bought a figure every time I found a character I liked that I could afford. You can stop doing the voice now. You just knew I was going to do it? Okay. As figures become easier to collect, it became less special, so now I only buy a figure if it has a special meaning to me. I actually recently got the Ichiban Kuji Daima Super Saiyan 4 Goku Mini. What a name. But other than that and the SH Figuarts GT Kid Goku, I haven't bought a figure in over 10 years. I did collect all the games in the PS2 to PS4 era, but that stopped with the digital era. I also try to own every episode, movie, and chapter, so I hope Daima gets a release with subs one day.
He does make a point where it's just like, yeah, back then it was hard to get figures. You got a character you liked, and back then the quality didn't, I don't know if it didn't matter, but I think we just had less standards.
Access.
Less access, less standards. Like the figures, I look back at the figures from 10 years ago, they look like complete ass. Excuse my French, but they were like, that's Goku? Okay, sure. The figures nowadays, I'm like, oh my god, this looks like it's ripped straight out of the manga or the anime. It's incredible. But the fact that there are so many in abundance, it does kind of take away the specialness of it. Maybe that's why I collect all of them, because the specialness is just like, I need them all kind of thing. Or, I don't know, man. It's an addiction. What can I say?
Right. No, I feel ya. I mean, I can walk down to my Barnes & Noble, which is like 5 blocks down, and I can pick up this really cool, master lease 23rd Budokai Goku there. I'm like, yeah, that was great. I just walked in and I was like, hey, they got this thing. I've seen this online. Yeah, why not? Let's just.
That's why I pay more if I see something in person. I'm like, yeah, I don't mind paying the in-person fee just because I can go to a store and grab it right there. It was great.
The thing that annoys me the most is when they got matchmakers and they only have one of the thing, and I'm like, it is the one that I want more of, but I refuse to buy it unless I can also get the second piece. So sorry,
it's in the name. Dang it, it's a match.
Yeah. Zenpai, I know that guy, says, living in the EU, my importing is complicated. I can import whatever I want, no problem, from other EU countries, hence why I was so pissed about Brexit. But anything from outside the single market gets a 23% VAT plus other fees, and if it exceeds 150 euros, you get tariffs added on top of that. Hence, everything I get from farther away is carefully considered, and most of the time, given up on. I got my Japanese full-color edition complete set, a few retro controllers from Retro Fighters, and little else. I now have to resort to a local importer to get the Karl Barks library books. Man, yeah. I mean, we're complaining about the problems we have. Like, obviously, it's different everywhere else. You might have been struggling with other
the fact
things.
Did Senpai start that out with like, I don't have any issues with it, and then commences to list what hoops he has to go through to like get
No, he says it's complicated. He didn't say he's got no problems.
Okay.
Rob writes in and says, pretty bad. It sucks. It's going to cost more to import anything from now on for the foreseeable future, and even buying things in stores in the States will be higher as well. Yeah, we didn't even talk about how much this is just going to affect, I think, literally everything.
Everything.
Right, yeah.
Everything's made. A lot of stuff's not made in America, so.
This is what winning looks like, guys.
We're winning, guys.
GGF says it sucks. I had been getting a decent amount of cool stuff relatively cheap from Japan in the last couple of years thanks to the weak yen, but not anymore. Obviously, my toys being more expensive doesn't even crack the top 100 worst things this administration has done.
Yes.
But yeah, still sucks.
Have to stress that. Yeah, we're just talking about this because it's Dragon Ball pertains to that, but there are worse. Worse things.
There are worse things, and this was a way that we could kind of have a little corner of happiness. I can't even whatever.
I can't even say this is the last straw. The last straw was like 20 straws ago. Okay, like this is just digging too deep. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, it's not great, but you know what is great? Everybody who chimed in, letting us know, commiserating with us, which is, kind of nice. We like to have that here and there. But I think that's going to wrap us up here. So, thank you everybody for listening and joining in the conversation. I appreciate it. I know Ken appreciates it. Doug appreciates it. And, so thank you for keeping us in the conversation, talking about our favorite franchise in the world. You can post us on our Blue Sky. That's at wegotapodcast.com. And of course, you can email us at wegotapod@gmail.com.
And thank you to Rifti Beats for letting us use this track, Kakarot Theme Hip Hop Trap Remix. You can find that track and other great music by Rifti on his SoundCloud. Ken, where can the people find you?
You can find me at detectivex.bsky.social.
And Randy?
You can catch me over at Saberbreaker at wegotapodcast.com over on Blue Sky. And what about you, Doug?
Trebaz Doug on TikTok, Insta, and the YouTubes. Well, on YouTube's I'm posting on the We Got a Pod channel, so check me out there.
Hell yeah. It's funny because you didn't want to post your shorts on your AMV channel because you thought it would be incongruous with what people are there for.
Sure, yeah.
And I was just like, hey, just throw them up on We Got a Podcast, and they've blown up here, so I appreciate it.
Of course, yeah. It makes sense to put them there, so yeah.
Yeah. So earlier in the episode, I mentioned that we're going to be continuing Dragon Ball AF next time with the Spoits arc. I believe it's another 3 volumes. Again, when I say 3 volumes, these are like 60-page volumes. So it's really not that bad. It equates out to 1 volume of any other manga out there.
Okay.
It's to give you context, Doug, of where we're at in the Dragon Ball AF story, the arc after Spoits, which is what we're going to read next, is still going on. And it's like 7 volumes ahead.
I thought you were making noises. Spoits is a character name?
But Doug has added homework because he did not read the chapters from the last time when he was not on and Jake filled in for him.
I thought I had saved this.
I think it's fair if Doug just listens to that podcast episode again.
Okay.
Where we had Jake on,
That sounds like homework too. I might as well just read the manga.
Well, I'm trying to give you an alternative, man, but you got to spit in my face about it. And in Jake's face. In Jake's face.
And that's what's really offensive here.
I know you enjoy it, Randy, but I don't know about Jake. So yeah, maybe I won't spit.
So thank you all for listening. Hopefully this is the last time we ever have to be such a downer podcast. And hopefully this is the most political we ever have to get here on this show. I can't imagine the circumstances in which we would have to be more.
They forced us.
Dragon Ball pertaining, at least. So, guys, if you're here at the end of the episode, that means you really stuck through us with a really tough one here this time. And thank you, as always. We really, really do appreciate it. So what else is there to say? But catch you, Matanator.
Bye.
Bye-bye.